Hi, my name is Denise Cooper, and I am the CEO and founder at a company called Remarkable Leadership Lessons, where we teach executives and their teams how to reclaim their power by cultivating very specific and practical habits that close the performance gap. Although you may have come here to learn how to master any interview, what you may not know is that by learning how to do that, you actually given yourself one of the most powerful tools for achieving your goals. You can use your answers to promote yourself as a leader, coach your boss on how to more effectively work with you, and ensure performance reviews reflect how valuable your work really is. Using the information that you get from using this booklet, you'll learn to talk about your accomplishment in an easy and comfortable way. I've used the questions and exercises you're going to get with hundreds of clients to teach them how to be better leaders, get rewarding jobs, and get the raises and promotions that they've earned. Now you get a chance to reap the same rewards. But let me be clear, we are always being interviewed. An interview is simply a discussion about how you solve problems and get work done. I want to start by just calling out the elephant in the room. The recruiting, hiring, and internal staffing process is broken. And you might ask, why is it important to acknowledge that it's broken? I think there are three good reasons to acknowledge it. One, when I tell people that the process is broken, they actually feel better. They can stop blaming themselves for not knowing and not being able to quickly get a job or advance their career goals. Two, there tends to be tremendous power in knowing this because now you can focus on what really works for you and eliminate the stress that comes from the struggle and failure from doing things that don't work for you. You don't have to take my word for it. SHRM, which is the Society for Human Resources Management, and the consulting firm Mercer, completed a study this year in 2017 that revealed about 20% of HR professionals believe that their hiring processes doesn't work. Additionally, the participants in the study reported knowing there were ways of dramatically improving the hiring process, but they didn't use them because, too much trouble to change. What that means for you is to achieve your career goals, you've got to take charge of your career. And in this case, taking charge of the interview. Remember, people hire people, not paper, not an online process. Managers hire people they are convinced not only have the skills to do the job, but also have the ability to work with others. And that brings me to the final reason. I think it's so important to call the elephant in the room. Nothing changes until we demand a change. One day, many of you will be in a position to fix this process. I'm paying it forward by helping you today with this free offer. And I want you to pay it forward by taking a stand to make it better when you were in a position to do so. I want to stop for a few minutes and just let you know why I'm so passionate about this. And I'm going to do that by giving you a bit of my story and how did I come to this point. In 2003, I worked for Budget Rent-A-Car. I loved working there. But in this day and age, companies get bought and sold all the time. Well, they were sold, and I was out of a job. I had twin daughters, a house, and a lifestyle that I really wasn't interested in giving up. I was facing an uphill battle because the job market just sucked. There were a lot of people just like me out of work, looking for a job. But I was a bit cocky. I was an HR professional, and I thought I knew how to get a job. I called all the recruiters and executive search firm who for years had been talking to me about positions they had, and I thought if I talking to them, they would simply steer me to the right positions. I rummaged through the web looking for every posting of a job. I attended job search meetings and read every how to find a job book there was on the market. And like many of you, I got a lot of rejections. No return phone calls. emails saying, "We've decided to go with someone else." And those pleasant conversations from recruiters and my colleagues. They were all nice. They expressed they would help me and if they found anything. But it was just another form of rejection. I was faced with two teenage girls who frankly enjoyed eating. And I decided I needed to stop listening to everyone else and to do what I did best. You see, for 25 years and more, people hired me to figure out why some people succeeded and others didn't. Why some people, it seemed like it was always easy, and others, they struggled to get to the performance level that was required for the position. It was then that I began to figure it all out. At every level, the differentiator hinged on one critical skill: the interview. My ability to talk about me and what I'd accomplish. You see, 75 to 80% of all jobs are found by networking. And networking is just another word for informal interviewing. I realized it wasn't my resume. Getting a job didn't depend on how well I filled out an online application or had my resume done, or whether I even got a warm introduction into the company by a friend. Oh, wait a minute. Make no mistake, that warm introduction did help me. But after my colleague made the introduction and walked away, the difference was my ability to interview, to tell my story, and to tell it in a way that made it so that I could become the final candidate, the person that was seen as right for this job. I gotta tell you, I got so good at interviewing within 6 months, I kind of being one of the final candidates 16 times. 16 times where I made the hiring manager squirm and have to roll the dice on whether he was making the right decision or not. And then I got my yes. Talk about happy. It was like I was in the right place for me. And it worked. And it was the good job and it was the right job. But then a couple of years later, I needed to find another job. My company was being acquired again. So I used my system, and within a month, I had a job. But that's when it all fell into place for me. It wasn't about getting a job offer that was really important. What was really important was getting an offer that was at the right place, doing work that I really loved, and feeling valued for the contributions and the overall success of my company. I wanted to work with people who had similar values, beliefs about how to do business, about how you treat people, customers, and vendors. The right fit meant working for a company that had a vision, a mission, but really values like mine, and hired people who felt the same way about work that I did. I finally realized in my gut, at a taste it, a touch it, a soul level, why culture matters and what happens when you just take a job versus taking a job that you love doing what you love to do and with people that you admire and respect. So you see, all those 16 times that were no's, I now figured out that they were just indication that the culture wasn't right for me. It became clear that finding the right place to work was as important as getting the right job. The lesson? If I really wanted to make it all work for me, I had to play a stronger role during the interview. That meant letting the hiring manager and his team know what I was about, what I could do, what I offered, and then asking good questions to make sure that I was in the right place, working for the right person, doing the right work, the work that was going to make me happy and fit my lifestyle. And knowing that the recruiting and hiring process was broken meant that I had to shoulder the responsibility for making sure that I connected the dots for that interviewer. And when we were done with the interview, we both knew working together was the right decision. The only way to do that is I had to identify what worked for me. I needed to know what motivated me and why. Then I had to be able to talk about it in a way that made it easy for others to see what work was the right work for me, so that when they looked and they got jobs, they knew about Denise and they knew that it fit for me. and then talking to hiring managers so that when we were done, we knew that the decision was I was the right person. Well, there's lots more to the story. But just now, I ended up building a business teaching other people how to make a few specific and tactical changes to improve their performance, to become better leaders, to take charge of their career and avoid being let go at the whim of an employer. Nail the Interview handles both formal and informal interviews. And once you develop your interview playbook, then you can update and repurpose it to handle any situation you're faced with in your career. The free booklet that you're going to get contains some of my best strategies for teaching you how to answer each question authentically, confidently, and quickly. Did you know that there are 3 questions every interviewer uses to decide whether you're the right person? Oh, they may not ask you directly, but these questions are top of mind. And the filter everyone uses consciously or unconsciously to determine whether working together will result in a good fit. But that's not all you'll get. Over the next couple of weeks, you'll get 2 podcasts from me telling you about the 4 types of interview styles you're going to meet and what does it mean to be a good fit and how to achieve it. So are you ready to get started? Right below this presentation, just enter your name and put your primary email address. I recommend that you use your personal email address because too many companies are monitoring their employee emails to see what they're doing. And what I found working with hundreds of clients is they really value their confidentiality. Once you've done that, then just click the button. You'll get an email asking you to confirm your decision within minutes. Then you'll receive your own copy of the booklet, Nail the Interview, how to answer the 15 most frequently asked questions, and then 2 podcasts will be delivered to your email address over the next couple of weeks. Go ahead, do it now. What have you got to lose? Did you know that most people fail not because they didn't have a great idea or an opportunity, but because they waited? Like dieting or a New Year's resolution, putting it off only means it never happens. So come on, get the best strategies so that you can nail the next interview. All you have to do is believe in yourself and that you're worth being happy doing what you love. Do the work and you get the best results that you can. Click the button below. Let me know what you think about the booklet and the podcast. And if I can be of further assistance, just ask. Hey, I answer all my email and my messages, so I appreciate hearing from you. And if you like it, pass it on to someone else. Pay it forward. Teach someone else how to nail the interview.